Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm going to be reading off a sermon, one that's not written by me. It's written by, well, I'll just tell you the name of it. It's called Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. I'm going to be reading it off, so oh man, hold on a second. I can't find it. Hold on. No, I'm sorry, I can't find it. I think my Wind Patrol dog, Scotty, I think he ate it. So, since I don't have that, I'm going to be reading off another one. It's this thing I found online. It's kind of different, but I'm just going to go ahead. It is called Angry Sinners in the Hands of a Loving No BS God. And when I say BS, I mean bullshit patties. Okay? Angry Sinners in the Hands of a Loving No BS God. A long, tedious speech, otherwise known as a sermon. I'm getting that definition from the dictionary, by the way. The online dictionary. By Edward Jonathons. Revised from a sermon by Jonathan Edwards. Two different men. Their foot shall slide in due time. Devarim, or Deuteronomy 32, verse 35. In this verse is threatened the inevitable instability found in old age, or possibly a new dance move seen in various forms throughout the ages, and notably observed in the late Michael Jackson's moonwalk. Rather, it is the words of a loving father who, in a very explicit and animated warning, tells children of his what will happen in the future. This is a quote from Devarim, or Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. Now see that I, yes, I am He, says Yahweh, and there is no other powerful authority apart from and besides me. I kill and give life. I smash and I heal, and no one can resist my power. Please notice the order in which he, she says the words in those phrases. This is highly significant. First the negative, then the positive. Yahweh knows exactly what the situation is, that we are pitiful people, sometimes angry and disobedient, just as He consigned us to be, see Romans 11, verse 32, that we are powerless to make things right, and that He, she is our only hope, even though He, she is primarily responsible for things being the way they are in the first place. See Genesis, or Bereshit, chapter 2, verses 8 through 9, and Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 11. That we all have issues is fairly obvious and can be easily demonstrated, as in the two verses next preceding the text. Next implies that the verses are next, but preceding implies that they're before. I'm confused. Okay, anyways, I'm just going to go on. The expression that I have chosen for my text, their foot shall slide in due time, or actually I should probably say, their foot shall slide in due time. Or more accurately, at the time their foot slips, seems to imply the following things relating to the purpose and extreme passion that our Father-Mother feels in His/her overwhelming love that He has for each one of us. Number one, that we are in a state of maturing, that none of us is in this situation by choice or chance, and that there is actually a purpose for all the grief, confusion, and mayhem we find ourselves in and find in ourselves. Number two, it implies that this is only part of a whole sentence, and certainly not a whole verse, and that when using the separate writings, it's wise to examine the cultural and historical context of not only that particular verse, but the entire story that it is written in, as best as one is able, and to be sympathetic to anyone who is having a hard time getting the massive puzzle figured out, and to examine, first and foremost, the claimed character of Yahweh the Almighty, and see if the overall picture, as well as pertinent details, matches with the claim. Number three, another thing implied is that they are liable to need a certain someone to rescue them, and judging by history, the world around us, and personal experience, that need is desperate in the extreme. Number four, that the reason we are all having to go through all of this, and that things are the way they are, is often confusing, perplexing, and shrouded in mystery. This brings to the forefront a most crucial question. Is the Almighty real? And if so, Is he/she genuinely good, kind, loving, and caring, or not? The observation from the words that I would now insist upon is this: there is nothing, no force in heaven or on earth, that can stop, at any one moment, the desires, plans, and purposes of Yahweh, but the mere pleasure of Yahweh. Who, we will see, has no reason to stop his purposes or plans, and will accomplish exactly what he desires, what he or she desires. But let us proceed. From Yeshayahu, or Isaiah, chapter 46, verses 9 through 11, I read, "To whom can you compare and liken me? Tell me whom you think I resemble, so we can be compared. Remember what I accomplished in antiquity. Truly, I am El, the powerful authority. I have no peer, there is no other. I am Elohim, the ultimate powerful authority, and there is none like me, who announces the end from the beginning, and reveals beforehand what has not yet occurred, who says, my plan will be realized, I will accomplish what I desire, who summons an eagle from the east, from a distant land, one who carries out my plan. Yes, I have decreed. Yes, I will bring it to pass. I have formulated a plan. Yes, I will carry it out." And just what is his plan, and just what does he desire? That, Yahweh willing, is exactly what I hope to expound upon. By mere pleasure of Yahweh, I mean his sovereign pleasure, his arbitrary will, restrained by no obligation, hindered by no manner of difficulty, any more than if nothing else but Yahweh's mere will had in the least degree, or in any respect whatsoever, any hand in what happens on the earth at any one moment. The truth of this observation may appear by the following consideration. There is no want of power in Yahweh to accomplish what he desires at any moment. Men's hands cannot be strong when Yahweh rises up. The strongest have no power to resist him, nor can any deliver out of his hands. He is not only able to cast wicked men into purifying fire, refining them and ridding them of any impurities, but he is equally able to comfort the afflicted, to heal the brokenhearted, to bring renewal to those whose hope has long ago died in agony and misery. But he can most easily do it. Sometimes an earthly prince meets with a great deal of difficulty to subdue a rebel, who has found means to fortify himself, and has made himself strong by the numbers of his followers. But it is not so with Yahweh. There is no fortress that is any defense from the power of Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, and vast multitudes of Yahweh's enemies combine and associate themselves, they are easily broken in pieces. They are as great heaps of light chaff before the whirlwind, or large quantities of dry stubble before devouring flames. We find it easy to tread on and crush a worm that we see crawling on the earth, though not so easy to bring it to life again. Poor worm. But that's for another sermon, or long, tedious speech. So it is easy for us to cut or singe a slender thread that anything hangs by, and we can even tie or bind it together in some manner to make it as useful as it was previously, or close to it. However, Yahweh can do what we cannot. He can break and then make whole, so as to make a thing stronger than it was to begin with. From Yeshayahu 45, verses 5 through 8, or Isaiah. I am Yahweh, and there is nothing and no one besides and apart from me. Apart from me there is no Elohim or Elohim, capitalized Elohim or lowercase Elohim, meaning the ultimate powerful authority or powerful authorities. I arm you for battle, even though you do not recognize me, so that people will be intimately aware from the east to the west that there is no one and nothing apart from me. I am Yahweh, and no one and nothing else. I form light and fill darkness. I fashion peace and wholeness, and fill the dysfunctional, the bad and wrong. I, Yahweh, accomplish all of this. Drip down, O heavens, from above. Let the clouds flow forth with uprightness and what is of Yahweh. Let the earth open, loosen, and set free with fruitfulness. rescue, deliverance, and salvation sprouting and springing up, and uprightness and what is of Yahweh may sprout up along with it. I, Yahweh, fill and fatten. Thus it is easy for Yahweh, when he pleases, to cast his enemies down and then raise them up, a process that I am sure many of us are all too familiar with. From Tehillah, or Psalm 8, chapter 8, 6 verses 6 through 9, I read, "What is man that you take thought of him, and the son of man that you care for him, and make him a little less than Elohim," which could mean either Yahweh himself or powerful authorities. "You grant mankind honor and majesty. You appoint them to rule over your creation. You have placed everything under their authority, including all the sheep and cattle, as well as the wild animals, the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and everything that moves through the currents of the seas. O Yahweh, our Master, how magnificent is your name and reputation throughout the earth." And I'm out of time, so I'm going to continue in the next video. Shabbat Shalom, have a good life. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.